Red alert!
Good evening, everyone. I am Tom King. This is 4K Skywatch and Podcast Live, episode 51, live here from Chandler, Arizona on Friday night. It is 6 o'clock. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it to the weekend, and hopefully you're looking forward to see what's going on. We are going hard into 2026 to establish what we've learned the last 5 years in this decade and moving forward with that. If we can do what we did with the last 5 years, I'm pretty excited what's going to happen at 2023 if we all make it that far. So tonight, there's going to be some footage. Going to talk about Skywatch we got going on statewide, which is going to go on tomorrow. But we'll stop anybody from tonight. It is cold in Arizona. It finally cooled down. We were having 70-degree temperatures pretty much throughout the entire winter, and finally we got looks like some snow up north in Munns Park, Sedona area up in Flagstaff. They got a few inches of snow, and without that snow, this town does not really cool off. We would be 90 degrees year round if it's not for that cold thermal blanket that we see up north. We have crazy news people here. They call this place that I live in the Valley. I don't know anyone who does except these news people who over enunciate everything like Ted Nugent. And they called the North area the High Country. The High Country because they're up on the Muggium Rim, which is up a few thousand feet above us and get a lot colder up there. So we're not skywatching there. We are going to be skywatching around Phoenix, and it's going to be quite cold. We're thinking around 40 degrees, which is pretty cold. Not as cold as, say, Truth Seeker freezing his ass off up there in Minnesota, where cold to them is in the negative degrees. No thanks for that. That's so goddamn cold. You feel the bones in your face wherever you're not covered. That cold goes right through into your bones. So good evening, everyone. Good to have you out here. Tim, how are you doing? You know, I am here tonight, tomorrow. I might try live. I am going to bring my laptop with on the Skywatch tomorrow. I don't, that's mainly to hook up thermal. So I'm going to get some thermal imagery of the Skywatch location that we're going to. Is the one that has, if you give me a moment here, this backdrop that I've been using anyway, the backdrop that I dropped tonight that shows the entire city. That's what we're going to see. So might take the thermal camera with just to see all what all that looks like. And hell, you know, we're driving hard. we're not waiting around for UFOs to come to us. We're going to go out and do a Skywatch and go to them. So you guys are welcome to do it too. Wherever you're at tomorrow night, go up after 8 o'clock or so. Go out and Skywatch, see if anything happens. Maybe a big Skywatch, something will show up. It's up to them. Now, remember that the UFOs themselves, whatever this is, operates off of mass deception. They are kind of like the government where they don't want this out in the open. They don't like people talking about this. They'll give you a little ufology, but only in small increments. And it's like a taste and it's a game to them. And that's it. So we'll see. They are going to be showing up a lot in 2026, just like they did last year. Back in the day, we used to have what we called UFO flaps. And a flap for the younger generation was a UFO wave that was coming where you're getting sighting reports over and over. MUFON and other collection agencies would get a lot of reports. People don't talk about that anymore. It seems there's been times I've talked to people when it's just dead. You don't see anything for months, maybe years. And then there's times where you just run into these things left and right. What I'm doing with all this gear is brute force attacking the sky with everything I have. So eventually I will find something. Take a little bit of look at some of the gear here that's going on. So that was a Capture Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? It was the second, so I remember. But yeah, saw that live. Starlink kind of did a weird loop there. And that triggers UFO reports for people who don't know any better. And they're like, what is that? What is that? So got more. I found more green orb videos. So I got a couple of those. Hey, Shelly, good to see you. So like the last show I did was just on green orbs, right? And what I could find. And what I could find that looks valid. Two of those, one of them came from the National UFO Reporting Center. A bunch of them came from Chris Donald. Some of them got off social media. Now, I found another one. What I was doing is I was doing a rewind of what happened in New Jersey last year. And I'm trying to basically, I should have did this while it was happening. I should have saved those videos as I was watching them. But I didn't. I just watched them and then, doom scroll to the next one. And there were actually some pretty good videos from New Jersey. So I was hunting those down. And along the way, I ran into another green orb, which is interesting. So we're going to look at that. So, yeah, and another Phoenix Lights video, ran into one of those too. So we'll be looking at that tonight. So anyway, with the green orbs, what's interesting is look at how all this stuff is siloed off on this channel. Like if you don't subscribe to this channel, you can't see all those green orb videos. Like in the mainstream ufology, green orbs don't exist outside of Chris Bledsoe. But I had a compilation I started. We got another one to add to that compilation. But these green orbs are most likely siloed all over the internet, whether it's on somebody's Facebook page and they posted it and no one else knows about it, or it's on Blue Sky, or it's on X, or it's on Chinese social media, Russian social media, French, whatever. If we were to be able to have basically what the NSA does and vacuum the entire internet down and then be able to sort through those silos, we would probably end up with 50, maybe 100 of these green orb videos. But they're hard to find because they're in these silos, right? So there's something to this. There's something to these green orbs. And don't confuse those with drones. What was going on in New Jersey was there's a video where we were seeing orbs transforming into like DJI rotocopters, which is crazy. Those are some of the videos I was trying to hunt down. But I can't find that stuff. So anyway, so yeah, we're pushing hard. Let's get into the Skywatch for this weekend. Tomorrow at 4, we're going to meet at different locations. So we're going to have Dan is going to be out at his location, which is going to be East Valley, right? Let's bring this up on the map. So on here on the map, he is going, let me get this dialed in and make sure that, okay, so on this map here, Dan will be over here about where this airplane is here. Clive and myself are going to be on South Mountain. Over here at this place called Dobson Lookout. It's one hell of a windy drive. And if you screw this drive up, you meet your maker. This is South Mountain Park, is one of the biggest parks, I think, in the United States. But doesn't everybody say that? Every state says their park is the biggest one. And then we're going to have Chris up here. Also, Tucson. We have Skywatchers down in Tucson that are going to be watching. And I think Clive has another place. So he was talking, and this isn't mine doing, this is his. So he was talking at least 5 or 6 locations tomorrow night. Of course, the radar camera here. So that'll be pointing at the direction we're skywatching in. So if you guys can, go out and skywatch tomorrow night, and we'll see what happens on a mass skywatch. We'll keep pushing. It's going to be cold out there. I'm thinking 40 degrees. Let me tell you, we're not used to cold here. I don't have any gloves. I don't have a snowmobile suit anymore, or overalls or underalls. All I got's like 15 pair of shoes and a lot of goddamn pair of shorts and maybe a couple of pair of pants. That's about, I mean, it's like asking people in Hawaii. They don't have this shit either. You know, they got flip-flop lifestyle. Go figure. So we'll be doing the Skywatch tomorrow. Let's go look at some media here. All right. So one of the first ones I saw of maybe media is of this cigar. If somebody filmed it, it's not very good. Most videos aren't. But I think this is I think this was also shot on the 2nd of that one's hard to say. What do you guys think on that? That's so quick. Why don't they film it? I don't think that person was driving. I hope you're not driving and filming like this out the window. But if you're in the passenger seat, where's the rest of the goddamn video? This TikTok mentality that I got 6 seconds, that's enough. No, it's not enough. You need to film it until it leaves, or you lose sight of it. If you got under 30 seconds, it's going to be accused of an AI upload. And at this point, really can't tell. That's why I've been trying to get these people who film these spheres to come out, show their face, get on the record and say, I filmed this damn flying sphere and it's a thing. But so far, we don't have that. We got a bunch of videos. They keep coming out. We'll probably have more sphere videos in 2026. But we need somebody who films it to have the kahunas, to put their face in the camera and say, I filmed the sphere. I mean, Why not? What do you got to lose, man? It's like the world seems like it's coming apart at the goddamn seams. Are you're gonna worry about the apocalypse burning around you, and you lost your credibility because you went forward with a fucking sphere video? I mean, come on. Anyway, I've been working on some other stuff. Um, there's if you guys watch that show, The Proof is Out There, or The Truth is Out There. One of those two. One of those is the title. They're working on season 6, so they're in pre-production for that, and they're looking for video. So I supplied them with the Tim Edwards stuff because nobody can get it. I mean, I was really good friends with the guy. He gave me his actual master high 8 tape. I digitized it back in the day, like in 96. I had to buy a video capture card. Nobody back in 1995, 1996 had a video capture card. They were pretty goddamn expensive. So I went out and bought one and digitized it, blew it up to 4K later. So I imagine they're going to do at least one episode on the Salida case. And I went out and produced all the video that I sent over. It's on the channel here. We did a whole 3-hour show on it. So I don't know how that's gonna work, because they pretty much have Mark D'Antonio and Mick West are their expert analyzers. But what are they going to say? I mean, they already heard of this case. I mean, it's been around for forever. Who the hell knows more about it than me? I was there. I've seen the area. I know the argument for spider web, not spider web. I know the location. I know where the spider web would have been attached if there was one. But anyway, have at it. Also, we're working on with Erkan. I've been talking with him back and forth, him and his people in Turkey. He has a documentary that he made. He's trying to basically get it published. So I'm helping him with that to see what can he do with this. You know, how can he get this on Tubi so all of us can watch it, or Pluto TV, or one of those free with ad type things. So we're trying to get that out there. He could be pretty limited if it's all in Turkish, but hey, man, that's for the Turkish people. They're great people. They're allies of the United States. We got military bases there. Chris Leto used to train over there. Turkey's a great country. Why don't they deserve to have UFO documentaries made by their people in their country put on Netflix in Turkish so they can watch homegrown grassroots ufology? So he has his film done. It's won film awards over in Turkey. So I'm working with who I can to try and push that out so the Turkish people can watch that too. And then maybe we'll get a closed caption English translation of that later so we can watch it on the internet. Worst case, they can always self-publish it and put it on like a YouTube member site or something like that, or a pay-per-view or whatever. Speaking of the age of disclosure, that is still out there pushing it. Bill Maher is still talking about ufology. Dan Farr, the producer with that, probably made his money back at this point, because that documentary has been so far and wide that it's mainstream. It's out there. So how did he not make hundreds of thousands of dollars in whatever pay-per-view and licensing streams back? Looking forward to another one from him. Hopefully it doesn't take 3 years. I had a great time on Spaced Out Radio Monday night with Dave Scott. Dave, if you're watching, thanks for having me on. It was a blast, couple hours on there. I don't know how the hell Dave does this. I mean, to put it together, any podcast takes a lot of prep time to do a good one and to get all the bugs worked out and all the kinks. And Dave does this all the time. And he's up till like 1 a.m. And then has a regular job and he's working. How do you do that? I don't know how you function like that. That guy eats, breathes, and lives this stuff. He's very knowledgeable. So hopefully I can go back in a future episode and give him an update of what the hell is going on with 2026, or just bring on Dan or Clive. They got a lot of footage and a lot of good stories too. Hey, Thurston, I think you're new to the channel. Yeah, before I get deeper into some of these videos, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That's all I ask, nothing more. So let's get into some more media here. So that was the cigar. Now this next video I showed last week. There's no audio on this one, but there's going to be a recap of a green orb that was filmed in Chandler, Arizona, by me. But that's why. How come my radar camera doesn't get this? If one of these green orbs flies across that radar camera, God damn it, I can't wait. So anyway, here's a recap for the green orb from last week. Then we're going to look at another one from New Jersey. Okay, so that was another one of those green things. They blink, they stop, they change colors. Sometimes they shoot out lights. We don't know what the hell they are, but think of this. If you're NHI and you want to blend in, wouldn't you just put your technology out just to look pretty close to what we have? And that way, people really have to get a second or third look. So let's look at this thing from New Jersey next, which is pretty much that same thing. And this just now kind of got in my radar. So I'm looking at this going, well, wait a minute here. Let's look at this.
It has no other lights on it. Oh my God. It's blinking. What? I did say blink twice. Okay. Another one for Jersey. What plane does that? It looks a little green now. Try to get my focus right. No one else is seeing this. It's moving. It's moving. It just changed direction. It went up.
That lady did a pretty damn good job filming that. She kept it stable. She filmed it until it left. She described the color green. She mentioned the area, New Jersey. Didn't get too overexcited. That was a pretty well good narration, and just can't really ask for much more than that. I don't. So if we look at both of those at the same time, we'll see that both of these were pretty much one and the same.
It has no other lights on it. Oh my God. It's blinking. What? I did say blink twice. Okay. Another one for Jersey. What plane does that? It looks a little green now. Try to get my focus right. No one else is seeing this.
That's pretty much a match to me of whatever those flashing green things are. They could be drones. They're weird, but that tells me and Dan and Clive, Chris didn't fake all those green videos and blue videos that he shot 50 feet away from him, man. That's fucking close. That's some close stuff. So there's something to this. There's something to at least what those orbs of energy are. Hopefully we get good video. What's crazy is Chris Bledsoe, that guy straight up running a cult. And some of the shit that he says is kind of dangerous because I was around, I remember the Heaven's Gate cult, right? And they thought, oh, that was just a bunch of smart people that castrated themselves. And they were all under the guise of one guy who knew it all and had all the answers in his head. Then he decided it's time to drink the cyanide Kool-Aid. And they all killed themselves. So these type of religious cults with UFO leaders, man, that we need to, as a community, call that shit out. That the motherfuckers are nuts. And the amount of attention, Jesus, Jesse Michael is paying him to come in and talk to this guy. Why? Because he's got a following and an audience. That guy ain't here for answers. That guy's got another Messiah complex. Every single one of these people I've met that said they have special powers is full of shit. All of them are. They go to call them out on the spot and say, well, summon one now. They can't because they're liars. And it's fucked up that ufology has given a platform this guy as high as he possibly can get in ufology. It's a fucking disgrace to the science of all the people that are doing work and busting their balls and freezing their ass and sweating outside and working hard and spending money on equipment. And they film really good stuff. Then you got this nutso guy who films fucking planes, and they roll out the red carpet for this shit. What the fuck? Makes me wonder why I even do this shit if all you got to do is fake everything. When I was out looking for these videos, real videos, I come across these clown channels. These people have 30,000, 50,000 subscribers. And all their shit's fake. All their stuff on there is CGI, UFOs, left and right. And for some reason, people subscribe to that crap. You got to be brain dead if you can't tell that CGI UFOs on some of these channels. It was in your face CGI shit, really badly done. Stranger Things season 5 level bad CGI, and people eat that shit up. And they make money off it. That's how they pay their rent. I pay my rent by having a real goddamn job and having some integrity. But fools make the money. So the easy way out, if you want to make some money, go fake everything or post some cat videos. But you sure as hell ain't got to get rich doing real science in this field. All right, so let's get on to the next video. This one here is an orb and a jet from New Jersey.
So there's a plane, and then right there, what is that? See that flying? What's that, ladies and gentlemen? It's not a freaking plane. I'm trying to keep it as still as possible. It's not shaking, I'm shaking like that, see? That's what it looks like. Look, ready? So, there's the plane. There's a plane. Okay? And then right here is not a plane. That's flying in the sky right now. I'm zooming back out. I'm zooming out. I'm losing it. And it faded away. It's gone. It just faded away. It's gone.
That guy did a pretty good job of filming too. He filmed, I looked kind of like a bluish orb, couldn't really tell. And he filmed it until it went away. He got comparison shots, he got wide angle shots. That's about the best you can do. New Jersey was just a mix of a lot of different things. It started right when I got this channel up and running. Uh, it was too goddamn cold. Otherwise, I was going to fly out there. Now, if that were to happen again, I'd pick up my shit, get on a plane, go out there and, stay out there for maybe a week, Skywatch and see what happens. But, all we can do is learn from that and move on. Okay, here's another one. A drone in a jet. Let's see what this is. And let's check this out.
What the fuck?
That last one was interesting. It looked like you can see a plane leaving. Then an object came in. It looked like a red light trailing it. I've seen that in many videos. If you watch that over and over, what we're seeing is an optical illusion of a plane banking and coming in for a landing. The light in the back that's red is most likely on the tail of the aircraft. I watch hundreds of planes every day flying by. And after a while, you get pretty familiar with the front landing lights, the rear lights on the jets. People who aren't familiar easily get confused, but not everything turns out to be a UFO. So we have to be really careful as we go in with AI just getting so cheap that there will, again, there's all these people. You got people saying, I got UFOs in my head, I can channel them. Get the tickets at Ticketmaster and go to the Skywatch. And then you got these other fake people that use CGI. And either way, these people are somehow vacuuming out the money in ufology to pay the rent. Let's go to another Orb and New Jersey video. And if you guys know of any more videos that aren't in this collection that are really good, email me. How to get a hold of me is in the description in the video below. And I want to compile what I can out of this that's weird, because I could possibly get some of this stuff to producers to get on good shows. I've tried to filter out the bullshit. And if we're working with TV producers to get real, legitimate UFOs that are sourced back to a camera operator who filmed it, and not bullshit that you prayed and then something showed up and you couldn't operate the fucking focus after 5 years of running a camera. The guy did a pretty good job, or woman, whoever filmed that, filmed it until the end. That was a pretty weird video where it had a searchlight on it. So I'm wondering where that all fits in. Is that could be a drone? I mean, you can put a searchlight on a drone, but it's not an off-the-shelf standard type thing. Good way to piss people off. Fly your drone around and start searching their backyards. Didn't hear helicopter blades, and whatever that was looked close enough that you should have heard helicopters. Helicopters, when they hover, they get really loud. So I don't know what that was. It's probably human made, but we don't know. Remember the New Jersey stuff? These were coming out of the water. They were saying 50 of these things that clip were coming out of the water. They were flying around and flying over sensitive areas that they shouldn't have been in at all. And then they were flying back to the water and going in the water. So what the hell are we supposed to make out of that? That should have been the most documented UFO sighting of all time every night. And it was nothing better than a clusterfuck of people who couldn't figure out regular airplanes and started calling those drones and made it real confusing. And they were sending that in. So that doesn't help, but that's just going to happen. And then we had like mayors of these littler towns go out. We had news people go out and they saw it. And these are, well, at least the news people are trained observers, and they couldn't figure out what this stuff was and said, look, this is a drone. It's not an airplane, some kind of weird fixed wing or something going on. And they were freaked out. They had police helicopters chase these things, could not catch them. Apparently, none of them showed up on radar that we can get any radar tracks on. None of the entire New Jersey thing made any sense at all. They should have been able to track them on military radar, where they came from and where they went to. That's NORAD's job. What are they doing in that goddamn mountain? We don't know, but it seems they weren't able to solve this. And they're supposed to be able to see everything around the entire planet. And yet they're stumped. And then it went on over in Europe, still stumped. It's a big freaking headache. It's shit like this that makes us think we're living in a computer simulation that's got bugs in it and it's broken. And the simulator needs a Windows update to patch the shit because it doesn't make any sense. Makes more sense we're in a simulation than NORAD can't figure none of this stuff out. But some of us with little cameras and systems can. There's stuff that will take a drone down and they just don't use it. Well, let's got a couple videos left. Hey, Uncle Dave, good to see you in here. Good to see you. If you want to email me, go to Skywatch if you're not working tomorrow. It's going to be goddamn cold, but you can just jump in your truck or your car. Maybe got some heated seats to keep the ass warm, like my van. What do you guys think? There's tons and tons of videos out there. The day of UFO videos are rare. It's kind of over, but it merged with coming out around AI. Kind of sucks. Wish this happened more in the 80s, because then we would have it. Yes, stolen news. Lots of bullshit out there. Need to move my track over. Yeah, well, I don't know about the UFO community. I mean, when the Phoenix Lights thing happened, the debunkers, and they say this to this day, that was the boomerang was 5A10's in formation. 5A10's in formation is as rare as a fucking boomerang video. Go look up on YouTube A10s and try and get 5 in formation. You won't. You might find a couple of them that flew over during a football game, but you won't get 5 of them. You might get 3 sometime. I looked. That's how I know. I fucking looked. I can't find shit. So getting 5 of those in a formation for a control piece, when those go over and come to you, they are loud as hell. And nobody in Phoenix said these are, they would know. They would know they're A10s. That would just be, oh, look, there's 5 A10s. But no, they're like, look, there's a spaceship. Well, totally different. But in New Jersey, they heard the Doppler effect. So that whole thing is confusing as hell. New Jersey isn't the UFO community. You know what's funny? The Reddit thinks they are the UFO community. No, you're not. The UFO community been around a long time before social media came. Let's get back to the next video. Is this a drone? This one's weird. I don't know if some of these you can kind of tell if they're real. Just like when you see AI, a lot of times, sometimes it's like this is AI, or sometimes if it's CGI, you just know because it's just something's wrong with it. It can't get it perfect. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. That one, if that's a real video, that did not look like no plane. It didn't look like a bunch of drones. I don't know what that one. I don't know. I was doing a deep dive in this, and when you use AI, which everyone does, I don't know regular people that search Google search. Their search sucks. It's nothing but ads. They turn that thing into end shitification. Most people I know search AI. So I was doing a search on New Jersey stuff. And if you use like ChatGPT or Grok or Deep Search or Gemini, what I found is Gemini sucks when it goes to doing UFO searches because it searches internally, of course, inside Google's own engine before it will go outside and search, say, other AI type engines. So if you do like a search on, say, for Grok, and you say, let's look up a case, it's not unbiased, right? But Google, we all know, is fucked up when it comes to UFOs, any conspiracy type stuff. They have this thing called Project Jigsaw. If you type jigsaw.google.com, you can read the huge docs where after that mass shooting in Las Vegas, they hired the Rand Corporation, said, how can we get this shit off our platform? Not off entirely, shadow ban it. So Rand Corporation came back and said, I didn't want to list them because this channel will get further shadow banned. But UFOs were one of them, and there were 5 other topics. Just think back what happened to us in 2020 that you can't talk about. And they just pretty much, if that happens, you're not going to be pushed into people's viewership. And yeah, they censor stuff. I got a dumb video I uploaded of my mast going up and down. They got 700 hits in a day, right? Plus the UFO video, it's going to get 30 because they don't push that content out. You push anything else, and they'll take that content and they'll throw it on people's phones going, look at this, look at this, look at this. UFOs? Oh, hell no. So you can't even get around that really by not using UFOs and then type in, say, Taylor Swift and then uploading a UFO video. They're still going to have AI look at it and go, nope, dude, UFO content, going to shadow ban that one. All right. There's a couple weird ones here. So these might actually be legitimate weird ones from New Jersey. You never tell on that one But that one looked more like what they were describing that happened a year ago in New Jersey, where these objects were hovering or flying or coming out of the water. Tedesco Brothers got some decent footage of that. Before this drone flap happened in 2020, they were talking about 50 drones that they recorded coming out of the ocean. And anyway, it's a lot better than anything Bledsoe shot. And you can see these objects that are just lights, and they just kind of appear over dark water, and they just kind of do their thing. And they start blinking and transforming into FAA compliant aerial vehicles, aircraft. And what can you make out of that? At least they're out there shooting. We need a lot more people just out there sky watching and doing the hard work. And everyone wants the answers. They just want to doom scroll on their phone while they're sitting there and have it hand delivered. Ain't gonna work that way. It's pretty obvious that disclosure, or whatever that means to people, is not coming from this administration. If you believe that, puff pass, motherfucker. I mean, what are you smoking if you think this guy's gonna come out and say aliens are real? Because he doesn't do nothing unless he gets some money out of it. So it's up to us to work hard to get any answers. And dumb luck and persistence is pretty much when I have an abundance. I don't know much about Ukraine. I would like to talk to those scientists. Remember, Chris Leto did a podcast about some astronomers when the Ukraine war happened. They were filming these objects up very, very high in the atmosphere. They're black objects and white objects flying around. Astronomers discovered this. So that's kind of cool. They didn't have the stigma of U.S. astronomers, because UFO astronomers are weird people. They will not stick their neck out for UFOs. None of those SETI people were. No, they're sitting around listening to static and shit, hoping, aliens from 2 billion years ago had fucking FM radio, and they sent over, I don't know, their alien Rush Limbaugh or somebody like that was broadcasting, and they get to listen. Those are strange bedfellows there. All right, one more green one here. Let's check this out. It's going to be, okay, this one, some of these are a test. Check this one out. Green lights, green orbs in formation. That's not a Chris Bledsoe video. Let's watch that one more time. Did you guys figure this one out? Those green lights that just went pop, 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 reflection off the inside of the glass through his windshield, off either his phone or something in the car. And the guy mistaken it for a UFO. That's a dead giveaway right there. So just because I believe some of these green orbs are a thing, I didn't fall off the fucking turnip truck last night. I'm pretty skeptical when I look at this, and I have a pretty good eye to sort out the good stuff from the junk. That's why I work with television producers and point them in the right direction. It's hard to find people that shot a legitimate video that want to go on the record and end up on Ancient Aliens or some other television series and say, here's my piece of evidence. And it's, the stuff that the caliber that people are shooting now on phones and 4K and HD, way better than the potato cameras that we had back in the 80s. So I think that was a mistaken identity there. All right. Found another piece. That kind of wraps up the drone stuff. I'm going to get into a little bit of Phoenix Lights type video next. You guys can disagree with me, or this is not the I concur, Tom channel. If you guys have opposing viewpoints, I want to hear them. We're here for debate, discussion, education, and learning the deep stuff in ufology. I look at videos and I look at them with a critical eye, going, well, maybe or nope. I don't just look at everything and then just dismiss it like a lot of people do, because they're playing it safe. There's so many people that are worried about their precious reputation that they will not stick their neck out for any one piece of video unless they shot it themselves, because if they're wrong, I guess they can't sleep at night being wrong once. It's a weird contrast that we have. We have people yes, we have people like Mick West, who is basically the Dunning-Kruger dictionary person. When you look up Dunning-Kruger and you look it up, it's Mick West. It's a guy who has no degrees in military stuff. He never served. He doesn't know how radar operates. He doesn't know how thermal works. He's never worked on it. Hasn't flown off an aircraft carrier. He didn't serve any country at all. Yet he knows more than the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, the presidents, people with classified. He knows more than David Grush, who's read into thousands of SAPs, right? So that guy is mentally ill to a degree. And then you got these other people who won't put their neck out for anything at all because they're worried about their reputations, where Mick West doesn't give a fuck if he's wrong 99.9% of the time. These other people always have to be right to 100. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle of these people. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make a mistake and then say, I made a mistake, but I learned from it. So let's move forward. And if you man up and say, or woman up, say, I made a mistake. That's how we learn. That's how we get along intellectually. That's what we need to do as a species, become fucking smarter. So those things will actually want to communicate with us and interact with us instead of acting like cave people and shit. Oh, Gopsam, thank you for that super chat. Thank you very much. That will go directly in the gas tank for tomorrow's Skywatch. So let's get into this new Phoenix Lights type video. And this would be one that would be dismissed too. I got that critical eye for the Skywatcher guy. Now, did you guys, okay, that video came from Louisiana last year. And when I first looked at it, I thought, is this a Starlink launch? And then I started seeing the blink patterns. These satellites do not blink on and off during a launch or when they separate up in space. So this thing flew directly over the camera person's head, and they're filming it. I wish this video was longer, or we could get more to the source, because this matches the Charlene C video, also from Louisiana, and the video from last week's episode of another thing. Let's check that out. If you didn't watch last week and you didn't tune in, here's the one from I just showed you with the one from last week, and you'll see, oh, okay, this is weird. Check this out.
What the fuck is that? I hope y'all can see this. It's like right there, too. It's right there. I bet it ain't 500 foot off the ground. What the fuck is that? Nobody else seen this shit? Skywatch right there, sitting there, just sitting in the sky, not making a sound, just hovering.
All right, quick factual correction. The video that was on the left was Oklahoma. It was about 4 episodes back, not last week. Same thing where those lights kind of blink. But all of these are taking place in southern states. The one from Louisiana that I know of was around a military base. I'm not sure the one from last week. Now, let's look at the best video that why this is a thing.
That look like a whole fleet, and they flying real slow this way. If I got this many UFOs,
I'm going to skip forward. This video is 12 minutes long. I'm freezing this. Now look at the object over on the left that hangs out to the left. That's a lot like the video I shot on March 13th, where we had 4 in a row. And then we had this loner object over on the left. This makes me really, if I saw this and then I shot that video on March 13th, I never would have said the 10 p.m. or flares if I saw something like this first.
those things are changing colors. They flashing like pink, purple, blue, green, yellow. Yeah, see, they're going towards the right now. But it's still coming this way. And then look, if you see where like the stars are, you can tell the stars are stars because they're not moving and they're way up higher. And now they're almost in a straight line. I was hoping they came this way so I can get a closer shot. They turned to the right on me. Probably know I'm looking. Oh, see, come look. You can really see the colors now. Like the green, pink, and purples and yellows. It's like every time they flash, they turn a different color.
Okay, yeah, now you can really see how it is, huh? Oh, shit. Who's that?
Man, it's an alien caravan. That's what it is. I wonder if they're gonna loop back around and come this way. I need to stop talking noise before they come too close. I know I'm not the only person seeing this. Now see, they're right where I saw the last UFO. Same spot. Last one.
You can check out the full video on the channel, uncut. The lights started blinking at the end, and watching this, I've seen this a few times now. They are blinking in a regular sequence. So could this just be misidentification of normal aircraft? I mean, why does this look so weird? Why don't we just see the regular FAA green and red strobing and a white in there? Why do these three videos look the way they are? I mean, it's possible that the helicopters are doing some sequence. I mean, we've seen them here in Arizona quite often last year. What people said was a helicopter chasing a drone or an orb, when it turned out to just be two helicopters flying, and one of them turned off most of its lights. So the guy behind him flying with the night vision on didn't get blinded by him. So sometimes there's a logical explanation, but these videos are weird. They have the one off to the side, they blink, there's no sound at all. That last one there from Louisiana was near a military base. So again, these type of objects go towards military bases. Most likely what was going on is this harassment that we're seeing with the drones. And then don't forget the Navy ships off the coast had drones messing with them, and Jeremy Corbell had videos leaked to him. Most likely this has been going on for quite a while, and it's reached kind of a boiling point that spilled over into the internet, into the news, into local sheriffs, and they can't contain this anymore with the government and intelligence community controlling the media to a certain degree. So it's kind of spilled out. Now we're kind of aware of it. So it's interesting. So again, when I started, I talked about those green orb videos from last episode and how they're siloed off on channels like this. there's probably 30, 40, 50 of these videos in the totality of the internet, right? Same thing with these weird blinker type videos. Some of these weird, hard to find videos, if we're able to vacuum the whole internet and just sort it out, just find these, like CIA and NSA does, we'd have a whole collection. I'm surprised these son of a bitches never tried to recruit me to work for those bastards. They never have. Oh, Blitz, thank you so much for that super chat. LiDAR scales, 3D, what it seems. Well, that's a timely question here, because just before this, I got an image on my phone of LiDAR that Dan Starsky, who's watching in the chat, got. What the hell? We have LiDAR now in our group? No one told me about this shit. But yeah, I guess he's got some LiDAR. I don't know where he mapped it. We'll find out more on that later. But eventually, yeah, we're going to eventually get some LiDAR. And I know my wife was like, no, don't get more shit. Well, as Christopher Reeve says in the Superman movie, too late, Luther. New gear has already arrived. This showed up today, and this is a new piece of equipment I'm going to test out. What this is an infrared laser. So this is made to mount under a gun. It's got two buttons here, and you can turn them on. And once it's on, you can see the green light. It is on, and nothing comes out. Well, ooh, shit. Shouldn't do that. Well, it's red, right? It's interesting the camera can see this. I haven't really tested this yet. I just got this earlier today, and I charged it. And then I'm like, well, the laser's on, but you can't see anything because you need a night vision. It says in the manual you need a night vision to see it. You can't see it with a human eye. So I walk into the bathroom with the PVS-7, kill the lights, and turn it on and go, wow, this is really bright on the wall. Then Dave Mason updates me. So I tell him, hey, I got one of these. I'm going to take it out on the Skywatch. He goes, Tom, under no circumstances ever turn this on with the PVS-7. What? Too late, Luther, again. Shit. I already turned it on for a couple of minutes in the bathroom and hit the wall, and I could see a honeycomb grid in the PVS-7 thing. Now, I was going to say, never ever shine this into any night vision devices or any laser at all. You'll burn up the optics and screw them all up. But if you want to wreck your neighbor's optics, you can do that, but don't do it to your own shit. So he was saying, don't ever use this in conjunction at all with PVS-7. So heed that warning. Says, I know some of you guys out there watching a PVS-14s. This was only like $50 for, something. I would recommend don't do it with the PVS-14 either. But I am going to do it tomorrow with this. I'm going to take this night vision binocular out there, and this tough little boy, this is good. These Luna optics are great filmers for the money. 4K, close to third generation recording capabilities for about $900 to $1,000 or so. This one's a 2K version. They do now have the 4K. Good piece of equipment. So I'm going to take that out. And speaking of, let's wrap this up and get into tomorrow's Skywatch. I'm going to have that camera out. Well, it's always recording. So if anything happens over us in South Mountain area, that's going to get it. And then I got the other all sky cameras looking around. Now, I also use UFO. All right, so I got this thing running. This is a new version of UFODAP, or no, it's a beta version. I did have a newer version that I got sent to use, And on that one, there were buttons here for full screen. And I had to uninstall it because it didn't work. So there are some cool buttons on here that the new update, and I suggested, hey, can we get these windows full screen? And Ron's like, shit, yeah, we can, instantly. So that went in the update. So there'll be buttons here on the next version where these go full screen for people running a shit ton of monitors. Maybe you want to run full screen. You can run multiple instances of UFODAP, right? I could have a full screen one on one computer, full screen one on another computer. So remember, if you have your own IP camera, you can run multiple instances of that camera from different computers just using one camera. So that one camera can be used many, many times. It's really handy with Daewoo Thermal, because you get a color and then you get a thermal. So you can have one computer monitoring just the color camera for activity, another one monitoring the thermal. But you can actually do 3 different ways. You can have thermal, color, thermal, color, or color, thermal. So actually 4. So there's 4 different instances you could run UFODAP just off that one camera. This computer here is powerful enough to run 2, maybe 3 of them at the same time, and then it gets bogged down. Because if you're running UFODAP, that CPU is scanning every single frame of 4K, and you're running a whole bunch of them, eventually you're going to hit the limitations of what your computer can do. So if you guys are interested in the Skywatch tomorrow, hit me up with an email. Let me know. This is a good time to come out, but it's cold. We're going to do other ones when it's warmer, but why wait? Why wait till it's warmer? In Phoenix, I know I'll speak for us. We love when it gets fucking cold, because then we can get those 2 pair of pants out and put them on for this time of the year. So let's wrap this up. Marcus, thanks for sticking around. And also thanks for being a channel supporter. You can support the channel. I think it's $3 a month. You get access to other videos, live stuff when I put up live streams. I might. Okay, here's Dan's answer on. You used it on the Tesseract hike up the hill. Do you have hand thermal? What? How's that work? It's like that one that they got on Skinwalker Ranch that like costs as much as a car, which I have to check that out. Hit me, send me a picture of that on the phone, Dan. I want to see what kind of LiDAR you got. But yeah, get some good gear if you don't have any gear. I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow. So what's going to happen, Shelly? So I'm going to go up there, bring my stuff. Not going to bring too much gear, because we're talking about you don't need to bring everything in the kitchen sink. It's kind of here. So I'm going to bring about 3 pieces of equipment. I'm going to bring the Luna Optics, a P1000, 3 tripods, this laser that you can't see. This is, if you're going to lace something, these are safer if it's infrared than just a green one. Just, thinking prison terms and shit. And then I'm going to bring the laptop, and we're going to see. I tried this from Sedona, and I had 4G signal because I got to use my phone to give the internet to the laptop. It was great. And of course, Murphy's Law hits. As soon as you go live, you drop to 1 bar, and you're live. It's like, come on, bars, go back up to 4G and shit. Get me up this LTE hell. So I'm gonna try it privately, probably around 4 to 5 Arizona time tomorrow. So I might try members only, and we'll look at it and see if it's feasible. I also have to bring some capture cards with, so that way I could plug the live feed from the P1000 directly into this system if we can stream. But with that's a whole different system. I have to set up for just HD, because I know 4K signal isn't going to work. So we're going to give that a shot. Now, Dan Starsky, I believe, is going to be going live. His YouTube channel is in the description below, so check that out, or he could drop a link in here. He's going to be live tomorrow from his Dark Sky Ranch. So tomorrow's a big Skywatch for us in Arizona. It's going to be Tucson, multiple places around the Phoenix Valley. Hopefully, well, Melinda Leslie will be out. That'll be a given. So hopefully, maybe we'll see you tomorrow if that works. If not, we'll see you guys. Which one? The 4K one. This is an earlier version. It has a laser rangefinder. Now, I'll tell you, you don't need the laser rangefinder because UFOs ain't coming that close unless your name is Chris Donald. And it films in color. You put, wow, some shit just fell out of it live. It just broke. No, that actually is a special piece of glass. They go, I hate these flaps. In order to film in color, you have to use this flap. And if this happened at night, I would have lost it in the desert. And then you flip it up and then you go in color. And when you want to go in other modes, you flip it down. It's a weird invention they have, but it films almost as good as a PVS-7. Almost. So whatever they got on the website, and BH Photos where I got my stuff. So thank you very much. Well, and don't forget Arizona Motherlode there. We'll see you guys, if not tomorrow, on episode 52 of 4K Skywatching, where who the hell knows what comes up ufological wise or what I'm digging into. I got stuff by Mario I gotta dig into. Erkin just sent me all of his video. He sent me all of his stuff so I can run it by TV producers, but I got to look at that first. I don't want to play it unless I can get him on the podcast and interview him so he could talk about each piece or what's what. But it's cool. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Red alert!